Biker Dad is brought to you by Noel Leonard, biker lawyer. Hi, my name is Chris Best, and I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell stories, and this week that adventure brings me to Mars. Well, it actually kind of looks like Mars, but it's not. We are at Valley of Fire State Park in Nevada, right outside of Las Vegas, and I'm here with the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers for our annual conference here in Nevada. So we're going to be talking about that and how they're working to keep you safe on the roads, but also we're just going to be talking about going on the road. I rode through the hellish landscape of the city of Las Vegas to get here. That nightmarish 30 minutes was well worth the dream ride that we ended up here at the Valley of Fire. So I'm riding here with a couple members of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers, Michael Mobius out of Atlanta and Noel B. Leonard, biker lawyer from Alabama. And thanks to Eagle Rider, we got hooked up with some cool Harley Davidsons. We're going to be talking about that, how they handled the desert and the city, and this Martian landscape that we ended up here in the Valley of Fire. That's where we start this episode of the Biker Dad TV show, so let's roll. Have you ever sat at your job and thought, what if I just got up and left? Tell that horrible boss to take this job and shove it. Have you ever wanted to just walk out? What about burnout? Well, that's exactly what I did, but I didn't just quit. I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell your story. Daytona Beach, Florida, where you can actually drive onto the beach. Rick Fairless, a legend of his own, introduced me to Richard Rollins, Mayfield, Kentucky. Southeast Missouri, beautiful city of Knoxville, Tennessee. Gulf Coast of Mississippi, the Florida coast and the Tampa Bay area, Orange County Choppers, Roadhouse and Museum, talking to Paul Tuttle Sr. himself. But make no mistake, this is not a show about motorcycles or even about me. Instead, I travel across the country to meet the people who use their passion for motorcycles to make their communities stronger, safer, and better. This is Biker Dad. Adventure in Nevada at Eagle Rider on the Vegas Strip. That's where we're gonna come and pick up our motorcycles. They have all kinds of bikes to rent here. You can even get gear to use like helmets and jackets and gloves and everything else. But we are riding as usual on Harley Davidsons. It's gonna be a long day in the desert and you don't want to do that on an empty stomach. So we made a stop to fuel up our bodies before we fueled up the bikes. And we wanted to check out this Vegas icon where we got some awesome breakfast and an even cooler atmosphere. On the road in Las Vegas, Nevada with National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. We are here to work on making the road safer for everybody out there on bikes and cars too, for that matter. But we're also having a little fun. Lawyers are pretty fun to party with, in case you didn't know that. And we're actually gonna go on a ride through the desert to the Valley of Fire in Las Vegas. But one of the places we had to stop is the famous Pepper Mill, the diner here in Las Vegas, right on the old strip. It's one of the last bastions of old Vegas. You can see the Circus back right there, and it's still here. And that's where the Riv used to be, the Riviera. I loved that place, but they blew it up and put the Fontainebleau there. It's a big fancy hotel. But one thing that has never changed in Las Vegas is the Pepper Mill, and it's really cool because, you know, when you go to some of these older casinos and they're not updated, they just look run down and skanky. The Pepper Mill instead is more like a time shot, a slice of time still frozen here, and it's just awesome. The food is great. Inside it still looks like the 70s, which, you know, is normally a bad thing, but they keep it clean and freshened up, but it still just looks like it did when I was 4 years old. And the food here is just fantastic. Fat Chris loves coming to Vegas because the food here is great. I had the French toast and I just loved it. But you may like even recognize this place even if you've never been to Las Vegas. It's been in the movie Casino, one of the best gangster movies ever made. It was in episodes of CSI Las Vegas as well. It's just one of the places you have to come. And if you're like me and you try to watch and be careful about what you eat, this is one of the places where you just come and let your fat inner self come out and be fat and happy here at the Peppermill. Anyway, a couple members of NAML are with me, Michael Mobies and Noel Leonard.
And we just had an amazing breakfast. I think my omelet had 12 eggs in it, 12 or 13. I had to pass the pain threshold to finish eating it, but it was great. And apparently a lot of TV shows and movies have been shot here, so it's got a lot of history. It's sort of seedy looking, like from, 60s or 50s. Great decor, great food, good service too.
Having some breakfast, if it looks like you're on a movie set, you are. A lot of famous stuff has happened and gone down here. Had some good breakfast. I had the wisdom to skip breakfast and go straight to the burger for lunch. Sourdough, it's still good out here. So we're about to hit the road. Me and Michael Mobies from Atlanta, Biker Dad, we're gonna cruise around the desert.
And we're actually getting ready to hop on some bikes that we got from the Eagle Rider rentals here in Las Vegas. Whenever I'm on the road and I have to fly there, Eagle Rider hooks me up with bikes. And so we're gonna take advantage of that and we're gonna go hit the Valley of Fire and see what else we can find out here in the desert in Las Vegas. If you've never been out here, it really sucks to ride a motorcycle on the strip, but riding in the desert out here is one of the most awesome places to ever ride a motorcycle. I get out here at least once a year to ride with NAML and any other chance I get to. If you come to Vegas, get a bike, go hit up Eagle Rider if you can't bring your own bike, and they'll hook you up with a Harley or a BMW or whatever you want, and go take a ride up Mount Charleston or go to the Hoover Dam or do like we're doing today and hit the Valley of Fire. So Noel and I and Michael are getting ready to get on the bikes and head out to the desert. All right, all fueled up on the bikes and in our bellies, and it's time to get riding. But the first thing is we have to get through the Vegas Strip, which is a fun place to hang out, but is not a fun place to ride or drive. After fighting traffic and then getting lost because of construction that's not even updated on the GPS, we finally got out of that mess and then had to traverse through North Las Vegas because the GPS took us on another crazy wild goose hunt and took us 30 minutes just to get outside of town. And then when we hit the interstate, wild winds were pushing us all over the place. But finally, we made it out of the city. So what do y'all think about that 30 minutes of...
Was it 30 or an hour 30?
I don't know, it felt like it was 4 days.
Yeah.
Well, we finally made it out of the city of Las Vegas, and it was just a nice 30 minutes of sphincter puckering with terrible traffic, terrifying taxi drivers, treacherous construction, even tumbleweed, believe it or not. But if that was a nightmare in the city of Las Vegas, even the terrible construction, what we're about to go to is a dream ride. We're just on the very outskirts of town, but you can now see beautiful desert landscape and mountains and hills popping up behind me. And that's where we're headed, to the Valley of Fire, one of the bucket list rides that you have to do here in Nevada. The hellish landscape of the city of Las Vegas to get here, that nightmarish 30 minutes was well worth the dream ride that we ended up here at the Valley of Fire. So I'm riding here with a couple members of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers.
Michael Mobies, I'm an injury lawyer out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Noel Leonard, biker lawyer, representing accident victims all over the state of Alabama. Well, me and Michael came out with Biker Dad. We're both members of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. We had a mastermind meeting out here in Vegas. For some reason, we wind up in Vegas every year. We meet a couple of times a year and at least once in Vegas. So we decided to do a little something good for our inside since we emptied our pockets at the casino. had a meeting, just sharing intel, sharing, you know, what's working, what's not working, helping each other become better practitioners and better protectors of the people who are injured, and also and especially the people who are riding bikes like we are today. So we hopped on bikes, and you know, if you watch the Biker Dad TV show, you know that wherever he goes, he's going to be on two wheels, and so we were just following suit and had a. You can see behind us, beautiful sky, beautiful day, a little gusty, but. What do you think, Michael? Good ride so far?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, beautiful. Other than the traffic and the red lights in Vegas, but once we got outside the city, it was some of the prettiest riding I've ever seen. These red rocks, blue skies. I loved it.
Yeah, we're here in the Valley of Fire National Park, and it's a beautiful day. You know, there's bunches of people out here enjoying nature. It's a good time for it.
I like that Eagle Rider. They have a lot of selection and good customer service.
And it's a 24, really nice bike. You know, I've got some at home, and just fantastic, easy, comfortable. Well, as we've heard since we've been here, that there's a lot of angry drivers in Las Vegas. It seems, and this may be everywhere you go, I don't know about Atlanta, but it is in our home county. Everything's under construction, so that just adds to it. It adds, there's, you know, a lot of stuff blowing around, and that can be a little testy when you're on two wheels. But no, we got out of town. It is one of those things where you see in the distance, you see that mountain, you're like, oh yeah, we're almost there. And then half an hour later, you're no closer
red
to
lights
it.
Later.
Yeah, you're no closer to it.
A little bit of pot smoke at some of the red lights. I think it's legal here in Nevada, but nobody seemed impaired or anything. No close calls with cars. I mean, I didn't see any road rage. Everybody seemed fine. It's just a lot of red lights, and when the sun's beating on you and you're stopped, that's not super fun. But it's not hot out. It's actually great weather.
I guess I was in Tombstone the last time I saw tumbleweeds, but yes, we did see tumbleweeds on the damn road. That was kind of funny. No, hell yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah,
worth
definitely.
it to come out. I mean, it's just your brain can't process what it's not used to seeing all the time, and so your eyes are everywhere, your head's turning, which is, I mean, when you're on a bike, that's a good safety thing anyway. You need to be looking at what's around you, but taking it all in, it's great. It's also nice to stop and just look around. I mean, the views are killer. It's just a fantastic vista, 360 degrees. Yeah, it is like the video you see from the moon, just sort of, or Mars, you know, the red rock.
Yeah,
it is a little strange, but yeah, beautiful. It's just knockout beautiful.
but no, I love that. You're right. You have to sort of take it in. The cell signal stopped once we got into the state park, and so my music stopped, and I just had to like take it in and be in the moment, which I really enjoyed. National parks in Utah and Colorado, like a lot of the nearby Arizona, but this is a state park, but it's as pretty as a lot of the national parks nearby. But you're right, like when we came in and paid at the sort of formal entrance, you're just like greeted with these red rocks that look like flames, and I assume that's why it's named Fire Valley or Valley of Fire.
Once you get out of the city, it's just an hour northeast of Las Vegas where you'll find the Valley of Fire State Park. It's Nevada's oldest and most stunning state park. And over 150 million years ago, you would not believe this breathtaking desert was once covered by a vast sea. But as those waters receded, wind and time sculpted the fiery red sandstone formations that now glow under the sun. More than 300,000 visitors each year come to explore this ancient place, epic hiking trails, and otherworldly landscapes. Whether you're a nature lover or a thrill seeker, the Valley of Fire is a must-see adventure just outside of Las Vegas. And one of those 300,000 people this year was a young lady from France who did not want to pass up the chance to have a very American moment and get her picture taken on this American steel in one of America's most breathtaking parks.
Where are you from?
Paris. French.
Ah bon?
Yes. Photo des motos parce que c'est magnifique.
Yeah, good idea.
Yes, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
One of my favorite things actually is the low speed limit that gives you the time to look around and see everything because we're not used to seeing this kind of stuff, and it's pretty crazy when you do.
Biker Dad is brought to you by Noel Leonard, Biker Lawyer.
Hey, I'm Noel Leonard, Biker Lawyer, representing clients all over the state of Alabama. Shout out to Eagle Rider out here in Las Vegas. They hooked us up, really great people. It's my first time renting with them, but it was a really good experience. So I went with the Softail, and it's a 24, nice bike. I prefer the Softail chassis. It's just the right position for me. That's how I like to ride. And I just figured, what the heck. So this is my opportunity to get back on the chassis that I prefer. And it's just been great. It's a great bike. I got no qualms. I wanted the wind in my hair. I did not bring my own hat, so I went retro. Killer helmet. I love it. I had to pick one that was big enough for my huge noggin, but I got the throwback helmet. It's a great bike. I recommend it to anybody, and I would certainly recommend Eagle Rider to anybody who's out here. And I'm sure wherever their locations are, they're going to be just as good with the customer service as they were with us. We were able to get some of it done ahead of time. But yeah, so it's a 114 cubic inch, which is, that's a nice size. It's got enough get up and go to make my fat lawyer ass across the desert. The only thing that would make this bike any better would be to have Becky, my wife, on the back. I prefer a little more wind in the face, but it's been great. Plus, it's nice to be out. I'm riding with experienced riders, Biker Dad, Michael Mobies, who's my NAML lawyer buddy from Atlanta. Shout out to our friends there at Eagle Rider.
Hi there, this is Chris Best, the Biker Dad. I'm just here to let you know that myself and the hundreds of thousands of people who follow us on social media and watch the TV show are here to help. Do you need help with something? Give me a call. That's my number right there, 251-402-6392. Especially if you need legal help, I have an army of lawyers across the country who can help you with injuries after motorcycle crashes especially, but other stuff like crime and everything else too. So give me a call, 251-402-6392. On the road in Vegas, baby. What's more Vegas than neon? Maybe Elvis Presley, but here we still have the neon. We don't have Elvis. Let's go check out the Neon Boneyard here in Las Vegas.
A little kind of croissant shape right over here. Why did they put neither of those at the top of the sign? That is because 1905 there is an homage to the year that Las Vegas was born as a city. To give you the kind of long and short of it, we're born as a railroad stop in between Salt Lake City, Utah and Los Angeles, California. We're a place to get a snack, get some sleep, get some water before you take care of business in a money-making town elsewhere, right? You can't eat, sleep, or mingle amongst anybody else. Normally that was a tricky proposition. You had to go find your way amongst the city. That's why the Moulin Rouge is such a cool spot, because now you got a safe place to go and a cool place to camp out, like I said. If that Lady Luck sign looks maybe a little bit familiar, some of you guys might have seen a very famous Las Vegas film called Vegas Vacation, starring Chevy Chase. One of the characters in that film dances on top of the Lady Luck sign. Lo and behold, ta-da! This is the sign featured in the film. That is probably why it looks like it was stomped and danced all over, because it was stomped and danced all over at one point in its history. So that's a pretty nifty fact, right? This is one of 4 Tim Burton signs, handcrafted by the master himself. Highly recommend taking a photo with it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. His hands were, slobbering all over this thing. It's pretty cool. Tim Burton number 2 and Tim Burton number 3 going to be opposite the giant guitar. We're going to talk about them in about 15 minutes. And then at the very end of the tour, once I'm saying my goodbyes to you guys and getting emotional, and somebody hands me the tissues, I'll be wiping away the tears, and I'll tell you guys about the 4th sign. It is top secret. Mr. Burton specifically asked me to only tell my coolest groups about it. And I don't mean to brag, but you guys seem pretty cool. So I'll tell you in about 16 and a half minutes. Sound good? Up north, a little patch of federally owned unmarked desert known colloquially as the Nevada Proving Grounds. At one point we conducted 3 to 4 atomic detonations above ground every single month for a decade straight. Rather than maybe doing the responsible thing and telling tourists, hey, for a little bit, maybe don't come to Las Vegas, we're radioactive. We did the opposite. We said, hey, immediately come to Las Vegas, we're radioactive, right? It was a curious thing that we did, but you can appreciate those atomic bomb explosions. at the top floor of the Stardust, you could rent out feasibly a suite or space with drinks and music and your friends and stuff like that before you could crack open a bottle of champagne. Well, there's a mushroom cloud dotting the horizon, giving you a suntan in the process and covering it in dust. I am exaggerating, but it is a very exaggeratable thing that we did.
Everybody was very understated.
Alright guys, follow me in the story. We're going to start wrapping up the tour. You guys see those seahorses, flying saucers, and those big green Martian boys from Mars Attacks. That makes that convertible number 3, and if you remember, convertible number 4 is what I'll tell you about before I see a big prize. It's in the gift shop over there. You can see it in a little corner tucked away. We call the sign Guns and Booze. I'll give you guys one last hint as to what that sign includes. It includes both guns and it includes booze. I have a good feeling we'll be able to do this. Our powers of deduction have been strong tonight.
Everybody, I'm Noel Leonard, biker lawyer. If you've been injured in an automobile or especially a motorcycle accident, I hope you know who I am. If you injure someone who's riding a motorcycle, I don't give a damn if you know who I am. Your insurance company sure knows who I am, and I'm coming for both of you. Please give me a call. I'm easy to find, happy to take care of you.
Audio Jungle.
Your home for Lex and Terry in the morning rocks your workday with Pretty Reckless, Foo Fighters, and Linkin Park. Available on over 2,000 smart devices. The Gulf Coast Rock Station, TK 101.
It's Tony Sawyer with Bob's Downtown Restaurant here in Mobile, Alabama, and you're watching Biker Dad.
Do it one more time.
You're watching Biker Dad.
The whole thing.
This is Tony Sawyer with Bob's Downtown Restaurant here in Mobile, Alabama, and you're watching Biker Dad.
Dale Prince from Brantford, Ontario, Canada. We came down here, we had a conference that we attended and decided to extend our stay by 3 days. I've ridden out of here once before. I brought a couple buddies with me. We rented 3 Ultra Classic Road Glide and headed out to San Diego. We made San Diego on our first day, right to Ocean City, and then made our way back yesterday through California. A lot of twisty roads, fantastic driving, some of the best biker roads I've ever been on. It was absolutely beautiful. Stayed in Laughlin, Nevada last night, nice and cheap there. And then headed out this morning, made Hoover Dam, and then in through Valley of Fire. If you're going to Valley of Fire, make sure you take the North Shore Road. It is absolutely beautiful and twisty and arguably one of the best roads I've ever been on. And then back through Vegas, down the strip, pulled it out. It's my third time. It's my first time going that far down into California, which I'd highly recommend. If you can fit 3 days in here, if you can fit 5 days in, great, but 3 days, it's fantastic. Very easy. Eagle Rider made it, it was very simple. We did it all online, checked in online. There's about a 6-minute video that you gotta watch, upload your driver's license. You get here, the bikes are ready, very, very accommodating staff. You know, everything you could possibly need. I brought my own gear, but they had everything here for us had we needed it. Las Vegas, love it here, love it. If I could move here, I would. There's a lot of places I'd like to live, and again, even coming through Arizona was absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't say more about the area, and I couldn't say anything better about Eagle Rider and their experience. They're fantastic.
Biker Dad is brought to you in Baldwin County by Noel Leonard, biker lawyer.
In 5th grade, I started riding. 10 years old, got in trouble at school and had to stay after school a lot. And one of the things I did when I went home with my partners in crime was we tinkered around little Honda 50s and stuff like that. Just started there, been doing it ever since. Taught my son to ride, my brother rides. Been going as fast as I can for as long as I can.
So you stay on the dirt? You mentioned the Honda 50, the dirt bikes, or do you?
I started with dirt bikes and I rode enduros and motocross. Then when I moved into street bikes, obviously, I mean, the Harley is just the way to go for me. all my life. Just second nature.
How big is the motorcycle practice as a part of your personal injury practice? Why was it important for you to join NAML?
Well, so I met Chris Best, who is Biker Dad, several years ago, and when he heard me talking about teaching my son to ride and taking classes with him, we started that conversation. It was him. I just ran into him by accident again years later. I handled a case. We had clients in common with Chris Klotz, case out of Gulf Shores, and just ignited a new friendship. It was Biker Dad's suggestion, so I jumped on board, and it's just a great idea. It's been speeding along since.
That's the Biker Dad. I'm just here to let you know that myself and the hundreds of thousands of people who follow us on social media and watch the TV show are here to help. Do you need help with something? Give me a call. That's my number right there, 251-402-6392. Especially if you need legal help, I have an army of lawyers across the country who can help you with injuries after motorcycle crashes especially, but other stuff like crime and everything else too. So give me a call, 251-402-6392. That's it for this week's episode of the Biker Dad TV show, coming to you from the Valley of Fire in Nevada, right outside of Las Vegas. And I know a lot of people get to Vegas and they stay inside the whole time. They go blow their money at the casinos. Don't get me wrong, I do that too. But you're out here in the desert Southwest, man, you gotta get out here and see this landscape. Just a few minutes outside of the city of Las Vegas, just this incredible scene that was swept by the hand of God, obviously. This used to be, believe it or not, an ocean that we're standing in right now. And as you can see, everything's gone except it's left this crazy landscape. Again, that's it for this week's episode of the Biker Dad TV show. Until next time, please look twice for motorcycles. Yes, I do suck at this. That's what editing's for. All right, we're on the road here.